In the mid-1960s, China stood uneasy. The Great Leap Forward had failed. Famine lingered in memory, and Mao Zedong feared that the party itself was losing its revolutionary fire. In 1966, Mao struck. He called upon the nation's youth to rise up against old ideas, old culture, old customs, and old habits. The Cultural Revolution had begun.
At first, the campaign seemed unstoppable. Schools shut down. Students became Red Guards. Millions marched through Beijing holding aloft Mao's Little Red Book. Deng Xiaoping, by now one of China's most powerful leaders, watched with alarm. Because Deng valued stability, order, and above all, practical solutions. But the Cultural Revolution had no room for pragmatists.
Within months, Deng was branded a capitalist roader, a man accused of steering China toward revisionism. Crowds denounced him. Newspapers smeared his name, and soon he was stripped of his posts. By 1969, Deng and his family had been sent away to a remote tractor factory in Jiangxi province. For years, the man who once managed the affairs of state lived in obscurity, repairing machines by day, reading Marxist texts by night.
And yet, Deng endured. He neither broke nor rebelled. He waited, because he believed that China would one day need him again. By the early 1970s, China's political tides shifted. Premier Zhou Enlai grew ill, and the nation faced new challenges abroad. The Soviet Union loomed as a threat, and Richard Nixon's historic visit to China in 1972 signaled a new world was opening. Mao, still wary of Deng, but in need of capable hands, allowed him to return, first quietly, then more openly.
By 1973, Deng was back in Beijing, restored as vice premier. He worked tirelessly beside Zhou Enlai, bringing order to ministries, reviving education, and restoring factories to function. The people noticed. Deng was once again indispensable. But Mao was not ready to forgive completely, nor were his radical allies, the so-called Gang of Four. When Zhou Enlai died in January 1976, millions mourned. In April, crowds gathered in Tiananmen Square, laying wreaths, chanting poems, and demanding stability. But the movement was branded counterrevolutionary. Once again, Deng was blamed. Once again, he was purged. This time, it seemed final. The Gang of Four had the upper hand, and Mao, old and ailing, still refused to let Deng return. In September 1976, Mao Zedong passed away. China stood at a crossroads. The stage was set. The radicals wanted to seize control, but other forces within the party were preparing to strike. And in this struggle, the fate of Deng Xiaoping and the future of China would be decided.